This is what has somewhat become an annual tradition. I am finding myself back in Grand Teton National Park in the middle of July. This is probably my favorite time of year to visit this place. The temperatures are manageable, we have lush greens everywhere, and if you time it after the 4th of July, it's actually a lot less busy than you would think. Yes, there are wait times if you want to get a parking spot at String Lake to spend time at the lake, but the park itself is vast, and there are many locations that you can find where not many people are there. Point in case with this trail. Parking lot was somewhat full, but there's so much space to roam around. Now, I'm always called back to the Tetons. This place is very special to me. It was one of the first places I visited when I moved to America from England over 10 years ago. And such a stark difference to what I'm used to in the small country of England and what we call mountains. The Tetons blew my mind, and that's why I always come back here. These mountains are comforting. Even when I'm alone, I'm never lonely when I'm in the Tetons. And there's something so special about this place. The light changes everything drastically. As the sun rises above the ridge to the east and it hits the Teton range, the colors change, and I'm always looking for a different angle or a different perspective. And I'm quite often getting the same things, but the results that I'm taking away are very different. Alright folks, just want to take a quick minute to talk about today's video sponsor, which is Huckberry. Super grateful for Huckberry sponsoring this video and continuing to sponsor this channel. Just wanted to mention that their summer sale is now live through to July 29th. You can save a lot of money on some of their best and well-known brands and lines. Perfect time to check out the website, which I'll have linked in the description down below. I've talked about this before, but one of my absolute favorites is the cotton linen drawstring pant from Flint & Tinder. They're absolutely perfect for the summer, especially in the Tetons where the temperature can fluctuate. So you stay nice and cool even when it's warm, and then you're nicely covered when it starts to cool down in the evenings. So definitely check out Huckberry in the description. And once again, thank you for Huckberry for sponsoring this video. And anything you pick up with the link does continue to help me do what I do and support this channel and providing videos for you guys. Now this trip was a fun camping trip. I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but I just wanted to get away from my office, get back into this very special place. So I packed up my 1996 Toyota Land Cruiser, and I'm really excited to show you guys what I've done to this car. I love older vehicles and I love old Toyotas, and this car has so much character. And I recently got the roof cut off and a Wasatch Overland Super Cap conversion put on the roof. So I have a full kind of camper setup with a full pass through. I can stand up in here if I want to. It's bare bones inside, but this is such a fun solo adventure rig. And we spent a lot of our camping up in Shadow Mountain, which is some Bureau of Land managed area just outside of the park with some absolutely incredible views. Now, word of caution, if you want to get a place up here, you've got to get there early because it fills up very quickly. And although I said that it's not that busy, these areas do get very busy. So this trip, I got my Leica Q3 in hand, and I just wanted to have fun and make some photos. And honestly, I got some of the best conditions that I have experienced in my many times of visiting Grand Teton National Park. Okay, now this is one of my favorite things about photography, and this is why I always advocate to photographers to go back to locations time and time again. These are compositions that I've got before, but the conditions are always so different, and they always tell a different story. And what makes my life as a filmmaker photographer so much easier is having the Leica Q3 with me. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be the Leica Q3, but it's a high resolution fixed lens camera. And the reason why I love it so much is because of its versatility in cropping. I get hate for this all the time, but compression doesn't exist. This photo right here, I use the 75mm frame lines because I wanted to use the trees to frame these people. And if I shot from the same place with a 75mm lens, the results would be the exact same. The only difference would be the resolution, but this is still a 7.5 megapixel photo. So for social media, where it's mainly capped at 1080p, this photo is 2384 by 3179 pixels. There's a lot of resolution here still. So this camera allows me so much more versatility. I don't have to worry about switching lenses. I don't have to carry another camera with me. So I've talked about this before, but when I'm shooting on the Leica Q3, I'm always shooting wide open, like 95% of the time at f1.7. And I pick and choose where the focal point will be. For example, in some of these photos, I'm focusing on the mountains. This photo right here, I focus on the mountains, but sometimes in a similar situation, I may focus on the fence instead, which can completely change how the photograph is going to feel. I have a lot of imposter syndrome, so when people tell me that they love my photos and they try and create how I create, it makes me feel a little uncomfortable, especially when I talk about it. But I will address this because it is a common question I get asked, and I think that my photos look special because I'm shooting wide open. And this Summilux lens is just absolutely gorgeous. The rendering is fantastic. It's definitely the best lens setup that I have ever used. And I believe that Leica makes them to be as sharp as possible at wide open. You can't really get this clarity and sharpness from another lens.